James Ransone is one of those actors whose presence lingers long after the screen goes dark. His performances are not defined by glamour or traditional stardom, but by raw honesty, emotional exposure, and an unsettling realism that few actors are willing or able to embrace. Over the years, Ransone has built a career playing characters who exist on the fringes of society, men who are broken, searching, impulsive, and deeply human. His journey through the entertainment industry is not a simple success story, but a complex narrative shaped by talent, struggle, resilience, and survival. Born on June 2, 1979, in Baltimore, Maryland, James Ransone grew up in an environment that would later feel eerily familiar to fans of The Wire. Baltimore is not just a backdrop in his life. It is a living influence that helped shape his understanding of class, desperation, ambition, and failure. Long before he stepped onto a professional set, Ransone was absorbing the rhythms and realities of a city marked by economic struggle and emotional toughness. These early experiences would later inform his most powerful performances. Ransone's interest in acting developed early, though his path into the industry was anything but smooth. He gravitated toward the craft not as a means of fame, but as a form of expression. Acting became a way to process emotion, to channel inner chaos into something meaningful. Unlike many actors who aim for likability, Ransone was drawn to discomfort. He wanted to portray people who were messy, volatile, and painfully real. His breakout moment came in 2003, when he was cast as Ziggy Sobotka in the second season of HBO's The Wire. Ziggy was not a hero, nor was he a villain. He was insecure, impulsive, immature, and desperate for validation, particularly from his father and from the world around him. In lesser hands, Ziggy could have been a caricature. In Ransone's hands, he became tragic. Ziggy Sobotka is one of the most polarizing characters in The Wire. Many viewers found him frustrating, even unbearable. But that reaction was exactly the point. Ransone portrayed Ziggy as someone drowning in inadequacy, constantly performing masculinity, without ever being taken seriously. His loud jokes, reckless decisions, and emotional outbursts were not signs of arrogance, but of deep-rooted insecurity. Through subtle body language, erratic speech patterns, and moments of quiet devastation, Ransone revealed the pain beneath Ziggy's behavior. The performance was so convincing that audiences often conflated actor and character. Some fans openly admitted they hated Ziggy, while others saw him as one of the most heartbreaking figures in the series. What was undeniable, however, was the authenticity Ransone brought to the role. He didn't just play Ziggy, he inhabited him. That performance secured his place in television history, even though it did not immediately translate into mainstream stardom. After The Wire, Ransone continued to pursue roles that challenged him rather than elevated his celebrity. He appeared in films such as Ken Park, The Heart is Deceitful Above All Things, and Inside Man. Each role further established his reputation as an actor unafraid of darkness. He was drawn to characters who lived on the edge, emotionally and morally. These were not safe choices, but they were honest ones. In 2008, Ransone reunited with The Wire creator David Simon for the HBO miniseries Generation Kill, where he played Corporal Josh Ray Person. This role allowed Ransone to explore a different kind of masculinity, one shaped by war, boredom, fear, and absurdity. His portrayal captured the psychological contradictions of modern soldiers, balancing humor with existential dread. Once again, Ransone stood out not by dominating the screen, but by grounding his performance in truth. While his career continued to evolve, Ransone's personal life was marked by significant struggles. He has been open about his battles with addiction and self-destructive behavior. These challenges nearly derailed his career and, at times, his life. Rather than hiding these experiences, Ransone has spoken candidly about them, acknowledging the damage they caused and the work required to recover. Addiction is a recurring theme in Ransone's story, not as a romanticized trope, but as a harsh reality. He has described periods of chaos, poor decisions, and physical harm that forced him to confront his own mortality. These experiences, painful as they were, added layers to his craft. His performances gained a deeper emotional gravity, informed by real suffering rather than imagined pain. In the 2010s, Ransone found renewed momentum in both film and television. He appeared in the horror genre with Sinister, and later gained widespread recognition for his role as Eddie Kaspbrak in It Chapter 2. Eddie, like Ziggy, was a character defined by fear and vulnerability. Ransone portrayed him with a mix of anxiety, sarcasm, and unexpected courage, bringing humor and humanity to a story rooted in terror. His performance in It Chapter 2 introduced him to a new generation of fans, many of whom were surprised to learn about his earlier work. Yet even in a big-budget studio film, Ransone remained true to his instincts. He did not exaggerate Eddie's neuroses for laughs. Instead, he grounded them in emotional truth. The result was a character who felt real, relatable, and deeply sympathetic. Throughout his career, Ransone has consistently avoided the trappings of celebrity culture. He does not cultivate a polished public image, nor does he chase constant visibility. His interviews are often introspective, sometimes uncomfortable, and always honest. He speaks openly about failure, regret, and the ongoing nature of personal growth. This refusal to present a sanitized version of himself has earned him respect, even if it has limited his mainstream appeal. Ransone's filmography reflects a willingness to take risks. From indie dramas to war stories to psychological horror, he has built a body of work defined by emotional intensity, rather than commercial calculation. He is not an actor who disappears into blockbusters for the sake of exposure. Instead, he chooses projects that resonate with him on a personal level, even if they are smaller or more challenging. Colleagues often describe Ransone as deeply committed to the craft. He is known for immersing himself fully in his roles, sometimes at great personal cost. This intensity has occasionally been misunderstood, but it is central to his artistry. Acting, for Ransone, is not about pretending, it is about revealing. As the years have passed, James Ransone has become something of a cult figure among fans of character-driven storytelling. His work resonates most strongly with those who appreciate nuance, imperfection, and emotional risk. He represents a counterpoint to Hollywood's obsession with perfection, a reminder that flawed characters can be the most truthful reflections of humanity. Ransone's story is not one of tragic loss or premature death, but of survival. It is a story about confronting inner darkness and continuing forward despite setbacks. His life and career serve as a testament to the idea that redemption is not a single moment, but an ongoing process. Today, James Ransone continues to work, evolve, and challenge himself as an artist. His legacy is not confined to a single role or performance, but to a body of work that refuses to lie. Through characters like Ziggy Sobotka and Eddie Kaspbrak, he has given voice to people who are often ignored or misunderstood. In doing so, he has left an indelible mark on television and film. James Ransone is not a myth, nor a cautionary tale. He is a living example of what it means to endure, to fall, to rise, and to keep telling the truth through art. And as long as stories continue to be told about the broken, the lost, and the searching, there will always be a place for an actor like James Ransone. Thanks for the watching and subscribe.